Hey everybody, coming at you from by my favorite little river. Today I'm going to show you some very cool stuff. Okay, some stuff that I was inspired by. Now, to start with, has anybody ever heard of bargain bin? Okay, now what bargain bin is there's, I don't know if they're all across America, but in Georgia, Alabama, and Tennessee, they've got bargain bins, and what they are is all of the overstock, unsold, returned, broken, or lost junk items from Amazon go into these big boxes, and then they wrap them up with cellophane and they sell them by the pound to these junk stores called bargain bins. And they're, to most people, it's just a bunch of broken, unlabeled, unpackaged, weird items, but to like a bushcrafter, camper, survivalist, it's like a treasure hunt. And so there's a bunch of items that I've gotten from there, and I mean, I go there all the time, and they have like, some of them have a $7 day, and that's when they first put the stuff out, and there's big items. And then some of them have a $5 day, some have a $3, then a $2, and then they have a 50-cent day and a 25-cent day. And by then, each item is just pretty much junk, unless you know what you're looking for. So I got some stuff here that I want to show you and I want to talk about. And one of them, I came up with a inspiration for an actual survival belt. And it can be minimalist, or you can add a pouch to it like I did. And I'm going to show you it and talk about the contents of it. And it's handy for if you go off trail. This raft here, I'm going to talk about it. We're going to take a little ride in it, test out my new raft cover. So let's get into this a little bit deeper. Now, I love kayaks. I love hard shell kayaks, but they're kind of heavy. You got to carry them, and sometimes you have to drag them through the woods, or there's certain places you can't drag them. Like if you've got like really bad major hills. Let's take a look at this one right here. See, look at how bad that hill is right there. I really wouldn't want to do that. And some of the best places to go rafting and kayaking are pretty inaccessible. Now, to me, a raft, now I've got 2 inflatable kayaks and an inflatable canoe, and I've got this inflatable raft. Now, to me, if you have a way of floating down the river, if you can hold it up with one pinky, then it deserves some consideration. The only problem is, and see, this is a 1990 here. I've managed to take good care of it. But there's always rocks that could puncture a hole in it, and that's where the bargain bin comes in. So let's take. So they've always got these covers that are like, I know people have seen this type of material, and I don't even know if you can buy it or not, other than in a finished product, but it's like a black cordura, or heavy waterproof type material with a silver lining. Now, these things, they just have piles and piles of these things, and they're for grill covers, they're lawnmower covers, they're golf cart covers. There's all different kind of covers there, and a lot of them will have elastic on them. And a lot of them will have these buckles on them, which are pretty cool. And so what I did, and I'm going to show you the inside of this, I butchered a couple of these. Now, I went on $2 days, so these are only $2 a piece, and I wound up making this out of 2. So you can see how this stuff's all Frankenstein together. But the funny thing is where this elastic is, it had a label on it marked front, and so that's what I actually used on the raft. So I'm going to show you how this goes on right here now. Let me crank the camera up here for a minute. Oh, and then one other thing, I'm going to show you something about this material. Now this thing, it doesn't matter if it's completely waterproof or not. The idea is to protect the bottom of the raft from all the rocks. All right. So what you do is you take the front of it, and you just slide it on the top. All right, just like that. lay it on the ground here, and then stretch the back over. Now on the sides, what I did is I got a little place cut out right here. It's not lining up right. I have to scoot it over a little bit. Let's see. All right, and then I got some clips here. Clips on. You see how I've done that? This thing comes around, and I got a hole here for this, and then this clips to hold it on. Now, I think this thing was underinflated before, because this ain't wanting to fit through. That's one of those oar holders. But as long as this clips, I'll be good. There you go. All right, so now, the inside looked terrible. The inside looked like Frankenstein, but the bottom of it looks pretty good. It's double layered. Because once I Frankensteined it together, I sewed an extra piece on. So that's double layered. All right. All right, I brought me a life preserver. That raft came factory. These are the original oars. I try to use these different oars because these are a little bulky, but these things will slide together like that. And then they've got oar locks, so you can put them in them rings and not lose them. Now, one other thing I want to show you. I've got that survival kit in here in a dry bag. We're going to get that out and I'm going to show it to you in a minute. Now they're supposed to be, well, it ain't in there. Maybe it's in here. I hope it's in here. Yeah, there it is. All right, now here's some of that material. This is some of that material that I made it out of, and I want to show you something here. Okay, I'm gonna take this material. Look, that is a very, very sharp rock right there. Let's see. Okay, there you are. Now I'm gonna put my foot right here, and I'm gonna drag this over it. All right, let's drag it this way. Oh! Now that was pretty bad. That was pretty bad, but that was the razor sharp edge on it right there. So let's try this. I mean, that is a razor sharp rock. I'm pushing pretty hard. Let's get a different rock. Now that was a very, very sharp rock, so let's wrap it around this tree here. I'm gonna try to hold it. Now that rock's pretty sharp, but I mean, it's not like a razor blade. That was right on that rip. As far as just regular abrasion, it's not going through, but if I really push, how about push and drag? There you go. But now it took a lot of effort. It took a whole lot of effort. So, I mean, better to rip this than my raft. And in the future, I've got a bunch of more of those covers. If I get any rips, I'll just sew over them. All right, so let's take it down to the water and try it out and see how it works. Hopefully it'll stay on. Hopefully it won't come off. If it does come off, I'll be extremely depressed. So let's give it a try. Now I just remembered why I hated these, if you can hear me, I don't know if you can or not. Now I know why I hated these oars, because they're too short. That's why I always use the black ones. Let's go over the set of rapids with these rocks. And then we're gonna go over that other set of rapids. Hate these oars. Yeah, they're too short. All right. I think I see some big rocks here. Woohoo! Oh, now we're turned around. Oh, there's the trestle. Let's see. Oh, they're big rocks. Big rocks. Man, this thing's hard to control. Let's see if I can turn this thing around. I bet I can't. Woo! Oh, that was a... Oh, I'm on a sharp, pointy rock. Oh, no! All right, let's get back over here to the tripod. We'll get it out of the river. We'll look at it. Now see, straight ahead would be smooth sailing. Yeah, I haven't used these oars in plenty of years. I hate these things. Let's grab us up a different one. Next trip out. All right, let's get out over here at the tripod. Come on. Here we go. All right, let's put this one out. Let's take this one off and use it as a stick to get us back to shore. Oh yeah, hate these oars. There's an airplane overhead. Come on now. See, this is why I wear rubber boots. All right, let's get out of this thing. Oh me. I feel every rock on the bottom. Oh, oh. Whew. Terrible being an old man. Oh, come on, Raft. All right. Oh, one other thing. If you can see this, this is a tripod extension with a mirror with a swivel here so that I can mount the GoPro and I can see what's behind it. Now let's get back on the tripod and then we're going to pull this raft out. We're going to take a look at it, see if we got any rips. Oh, that thing right there came from Bargain Bin 2. $2. 30-liter dry bag. All right, so you may notice a difference in the audio, and that's because I had the medium mod case with a shotgun mic earlier, and then when I was out there in the water with it on my head, I pulled it off because it's not waterproof, and I was using the standard GoPro mic. So I don't know how good that audio was, but now we're back on the medium mod with the shotgun mic. All right, this done got hot today. Whew, I didn't know it was supposed to be cool. Anyway, let's lift this up, look at the bottom of this cover and see what it looks like. About a year ago, if you saw my pack raft video, you'll notice I had the other paddles, the black ones, and they were longer and they were skinnier and they worked better. These factory ones, I'm gonna say this for the third time, I hate these. These are junk. Look at that, made in America. Huh, they're that old. Well, no rips. The cover stayed on. It didn't rip off. There's a little bit of water in it. You can see it down there dripping. But I knew that would happen because of the seams, the way I sewed it. Oh, it's heavy. Let's see if we can catch this on video. Yeah, I hear it sloshing around. Yeah. Water got underneath it, but I don't care. It didn't rip. It protected the raft. So now for whenever I want to take real trips where it's really rocky, I feel confident that I can do it. All right. Now let's look at that survival kit while we're here real quick. People that know me and have watched my channel knows I'm all about survival kits, and I'm all about covering all the scenarios of camping, bushcraft survival, and maybe getting lost or stranded. Now, a small survival kit can be, for say example, if you set up a tent, okay? You set up a tent and then you want to go hiking, you wander off. Don't wander off with nothing because you may get lost. It'll be much better if you carry some kind of kit with you. Now, more importantly, like with the looks of this dry bag here, is if you're rafting, canoeing, kayaking, or whatever, and you pull off to the side and you go up into the woods, what if you get lost? What if your kayak or raft drifts away? That's not a good thing. So you're going to want some kind of a kit with you. And I was actually inspired by bargain bin. So let's take a look at this. I got inspired to start with, and then I wound up adding to it. So let's pull this out. Oh, this is another thing I got from bargain bin. I'm going to show it in a little while. Here is the belt. I got this belt. I got this belt with these two pouches here for $2. I'm gonna show you what's in the. You could use this belt just by itself, but I added a small pouch to it. And all you do is clip it on, and a knife. Let's see, this thing got turned around. There it is. Let's see. You just put it on. Say, grab it out of your dry bag whenever you're pulling off to the side with your kayak or raft, or if you're going to leave trail, just grab this and carry it with you. I'd say it's about as complete and realistic as a survival kit as there can be. So I'm going to crank the camera down to show you some things with it. All right, I'm wearing the survival belt right now, and I'm going to lean the camera down to show you what's on the front. Now, I added, I bet that was loud. Let me lock this thing in. All right, now this belt, it has the Velcro type attachments for adjustment, and it came with these two pouches on the front. And I added this on the back, the pouch. Now you don't have to have the pouch if you want to. This could be a minimalist survivor kit, pretty equal to what you would see in an Altoids tent. Now, there's a big gap right here, so your contents would fall out. So what I did is I put the contents in the little plastic container. Now what you have in this container is your very basics. You have a signal mirror. No, not a signal mirror, a signal light. Let's pull all these three things out. I have a whistle for signaling, and I have a little light for signaling, and then I have a Gerber dime multi-tool. All right, that's the way these fit in here, and they're all on a string. Is you're going to slide the multi-tool in, slide the whistle in, and then put the light in. Okay, and then you just take that and you'll slide it back in. And the fact that the bottom of the container is closed, see, that's what drill bits came in. They throw them away at work all the time. But anyway, let's throw this in here. Clip that, and there's the first one. Okay, here's the second one. Let's pull this up. Here you go. Whoop, look at that. And inside you have a magnesium bar with the ferro rod on it, and you have the lighter. So there's your fire. Now if you wanted to, this could be just as minimalist as possible. You could have that to get by with. Now there's no way, to me, that cutting tool is not good enough, so I'm going to show you the knife I've added. Now a lot of people would be like, oh, why don't you bring a machete? Well, the thing is if you got too much stuff on your belt, you may not be willing to carry it. Now before 5 million people asked about this. I don't know if they make this thing or not anymore. They may make a version of it, I don't know. But this is the handiest survival tool I've ever seen. It's made by Sog. It's called a Sog Revolver. It has a cutting edge, it has serrations, and get this, it has a button. This is where the revolver part comes in. And it turns into a Japanese pruning saw. Isn't that awesome? Now, I don't know if they make it or not anymore, but you know, I mean, this ain't your ideal tool, but as far as minimalist, that thing is fantastic. So, and it doesn't weigh much, but it's a knife and a saw, which is great. So let's pull this off and let's look at this pack back here and see what all it looks like. And you can add a smaller pack to it too. I've got a smaller Molly pack that I may add to it in the future instead of this big bulky pack. And this has some of my philosophy too. So let's just let that hang down there. No, let's don't. That's a good way of losing a knife right there. Let's clip this. All right, we got our pouches, we got our knife. Now let's take a peek inside here. This is a pouch. This is a pouch for a game camera. Okay. All right, so let's zip it open. You can pretty much attach any pouch to it. Now, one thing right here, let's take a look inside here. What is this? Okay, it's a mesh bag. What's its primary purpose? Its primary purpose is multi-fold. Put multi-use items in your survival kit. All right. So we have a red cloth, and what is wrapped up in it? We have a compass wrapped up in it. Now, the cloth will reduce shock. All right, and it'll also keep it distanced from metal objects. Now, that's the first purpose of this, is having a compass. The second purpose is this thing's red. You can tie it to a stick and use it as a distress signal. The other purpose is you can turn this into a Milbank bag if you have to. And all you do, shove your hand up inside it. What a Milbank bag is if you've got really filthy, muddy water with sediment, you can put that in there and you can dip it in a river. Or if you find a can or something, you can hang this and you can pour the water in there, and as the water drips out, you can catch it in a vessel and then really purify it. Okay, because we also have in here, in this bag, a life straw with the plunger for backwashing it. Now, the cool thing about this is you don't always want to worry about getting a fire, you know what I'm saying? Because you're always going to be somewhere near a mud puddle or a creek or a stream. Preferably if you got a nice flowing river like the one behind me, you're going to be okay, because all you got to do is you're going to be filtering it with this thing and then back flushing it with this. But if it's really filthy or muddy, or if it's even a mud puddle, you're going to want to filter it through your Milbank bag, your homemade Milbank bag. Okay. And so there's your water right there. That'll supply your water needs right there. I'm getting to a point where I'm fixing to have to change a battery. So let's pull out this other stuff here. Okay, we have in here a flashlight and a waterproof container with a spare battery. Now this thing right here, you're gonna have a light, high mode, low mode, and a blinking mode for signal. I'm trying not to mess the camera up too much. All right, and then it's in a waterproof container so that you don't actually accidentally mash the button on the back. So let's get this thing put back in here. Well, actually, I can't remember how it went. There we go. All right, there you go. Now, so let's put that over here. So that's another signal device. And then in here we have, this is a sleeping bag liner, and I got it for $2. Now, something else I want to say about this real quick. That is a very nice sleeping bag liner, especially for $2. Now, one of the things about, not everything is broken at bargain bin. Some of it's mislabeled. People will get stuff from Amazon and they'll be like, what is that? I didn't order that. Well, this sticker on this thing said tennis racket. So it was totally mislabeled. Whoever ordered a tennis racket, they got a sleeping bag liner, and that's why that thing got returned brand new. Now, the other thing that I want to see, this is what really enthused me. Oh, you got to have water too. All right, I carry, this is called a pilot's flask. It didn't come from Hidden Woods, man. I just put a sticker on it. So anyway, and that way you'll have water and you can filter water. And I'm not worried about a metal container that I can boil it in, because you're going to be tired, you're going to be cold, whatever, and there's going to be water available. Now, if it's ice or snow or frozen, you've brought the wrong kit. So in that case, you are going to need some kind of a vessel that you can boil with. Now, the final part of the thing is the cheapest, most expedient shelter of them all. All right, let's change batteries, and then I'm going to show you this. This is another bargain bin item. All right, what's the difference between camping, survival, and bushcraft? All right, camping, you bring a tent, you set it up, or a hammock. Bushcraft, you'll craft you up a shelter, take a few hours. Survival, what is survival? You're usually lost, you're injured, caught up in a storm, whatever. So you want something as expedient as possible, and my feeling is if you buy a very, very expensive bivy sack, or if you buy a bothy bag or a one-man tent, that is a huge expense just to leave tucked away in some survival kit. And you have a tendency to rob that bivy sack or that tent and carry it with your other camping equipment, and then you won't replace it, okay? But you want something, you want a kit that you can leave in your kayak or strapped to your ATV, you know, or your snowmobile or whatever. You want stuff that you're going to leave. Cheap things that works, but you're willing to leave it behind. Okay, so this is where this came in. Now, this is one of the many covers that they had, but this cover enthused me because it had the name of this. It's Himmel. I looked it up. I use reverse Google images so that I can look these things up. And this thing is for a zero-turn mower. So the hole in it is offset. So let's take a look at it first. Look where the hole is. And see, this around it is bungee cord, which is great. All right. So now with this thing right here, all you got to do is you can just scoot up against a tree. Pull these boots off here. If it's raining, if it's cold, you know, whatever. Let's take these boots off. So you can crawl in here. You probably want to carry your boots with you. So you can crawl inside. And oh, this will block the wind. You see me on camera? Yep. Now this will block the wind. Now what I'm thinking about doing, I haven't modified this. This is straight out of the store. So you can bring your boots inside with you. Now there's actually room in here for 2 people. If they make a smaller one, it would be good for 1 person. But I'm thinking about modifying this to where I can cinch it up like this. Or you can bring some clips and just put this over your head. Just like that. Or, I think you can scoot it back. Let me scoot this back a little bit closer to the tree. And have this hanging over like this. Or, if you got a boonie hat, maybe you could just pull this up around you like this. And see, I'm going to figure out some kind of a way of cinching this up. So say you're protected from the rain and the snow, and you're going to be trapping your body heat, especially since it's got this silver lining in it. But that is a work in progress. I would say that for $2, that's probably one of the most promising survival shelters that I've come across. And there's going to be a lot more advancements to that in the future. And I'm going to try to, since I got a GoPro, it's waterproof. Once I make these advancements, I'm going to try to take this thing out and test it in really bad weather and see if it'll keep me warm and dry without a jacket. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you can hike during the day and it's not bad, and it gets cold at night. All right, one final piece of the puzzle. Now for the final piece of the puzzle, like I said, there's certain things, there's certain junk items that I can just look at and they will inspire me if I think about them long enough. Now, they had these items and I thought, well, these are weird looking. There was two of them. And what they are, if you've ever heard of Google Lens, what Google Lens is it's a thing where you can take a picture of an item and it'll search across the internet for another item. So these weird looking things here, they were splined. It's got a spline shaft and it's got a ball where it rotates around, and then it's got a pretty substantial C-clamp on it here. Now these things right here, there was two of them, and I saw them and I thought, hey, maybe I could use that for something. So I got them and I drilled and tapped the top of one of them and made it for a GoPro mount. And then I drilled and tapped the other one and I made it for a regular camera mount or a cell phone mount. So I think I got, all right, now what I got to thinking about is at first I was thinking to myself, hey, that'd be cool. I can have a mount for my filming for videos. But then I got to thinking to myself, would something like this be handled in a survival situation? Well, you got those spring-loaded cell phone holders. So what if you mounted one of those to it? See? Now what you could do is, for example, if you're lost in the woods and you're looking around and it's all thick woods and you don't know which way to go, find a stick, mount this to it, put your cell phone on it, click video, and raise it up in the air, up above the tree lines and the brush and everything, and look around, and then bring it back down and then watch the video. And who knows, maybe you'll see a river or you'll see a road. You know what I'm saying? You may see something. The other thing about it is, say for example, you're trying to get down and you're looking over a cliff. Is it all cliff, or is there a ledge that you could rappel down to? You know what I'm saying? Take your cell phone, click video, hang it over the edge, and you can see if there's a ledge down there, maybe how far down it is. Anything. If you're looking up a hill, if you get a stick tall enough, you're like, that's a steep hill, that's a steep cliff. Is it worth trying to climb to get to the other side? You don't know what's on the other side. I'm going to hook a GoPro to this one and we're going to take a look to it. But these are going to be your eyes over the edge and your eyes up above the trees. Any length tree that you find just laying around. I saw one over there. We're going to hook a GoPro to it. See all this debris right here that's been washed up? Look at that stick. See, I don't even have to have an axe or a knife or a machete. I can just grab that stick and clamp that camera mount to it. Now see right here behind me? Look at that. It goes straight up. Look at all that. Now would I be willing to climb that to get up to the top? I don't know. See that tree up there? Look at that. Now, I don't know what's up there. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, now a normal person would put their cell phone on a stick, but I'm gonna put the GoPro and see how high up we can see. Now, we really need a taller stick, but this was handy, so it'll give you the basic idea. I don't know if we can see up the top or not. So let's clamp this on. It's a pretty heavy duty clamp. It's got some grips on it. Both of them have serrated grips. So we're going to clamp this on just like this. See? Then I'm going to move this up as high as I can get it. And then I'm going to mount the GoPro to the end of it, and we're going to see if we can see up over on top of the hill. Alright, this is going to be interesting because you're tied to the end of a very long stick. It may be a little bit shaky, but it's going to be fun. Alright, so let's see if we can take a look up there and see what's up there. Now see, that may not just be for a survival type situation. It could also benefit you in your out and about exploring. Let's get you back on the tripod and finish this up. Well, that was without a shadow of a doubt a lot of fun. I hope you got some ideas from it. Basically, my thoughts are nothing is junk. Never throw anything away. Pile it all up somewhere until you dream up a use for it. So, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you had fun. Get out, enjoy life. Make your own gear. You don't have to buy everything. And we shall. See you in the next one.